Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'm here to explain options. So I want to explain how options work, give a brief overview of buying call options, put options, and just how selling options works, how buying options works. I'm just going to give a pretty general overview of how that actually, how that goes down in the market, how you can execute these yourself. This was actually a suggestion from a comment, so I appreciate whoever commented that. This is a great idea to make for a video, and I hope you can find this useful. And yeah, we're up a lot today in the portfolio if you guys see that, so I'm very happy about that. But yeah, guys, if you do enjoy this video and you find it useful, it helps you out a little bit, be sure to like it and also subscribe to the channel. It would be very appreciated. We're nearing 150 subscribers. And yeah, let's get right into it. So a commonly traded stock when it comes to options is the S&P 500 or SPY. SPY is commonly traded on options because of its liquidity in the option pool. And this means that there's a lot of people constantly buying and selling options on SPY. So there's different types of options. There's 0 days till expiration, there's 1 day till expiration, and this will vary from stock to stock if there's a stock with not as much volume on it. So for example, a company I love, but a smaller cap, it doesn't have as much volume. You can check their option chain and 24 days, 52 days, 150 days. So their expiration dates are a little bit more spread out in comparison to one of these bigger stocks. And you'd see like Google, Apple, Amazon, all of them have a lot of options available. So the option chain here, we can see the 0 DTEs are, they're very cheap up here, and that's because they expired worthless. It says it's worth a penny, but these options expired worthless. If you bought this option and held on to it, it would be worth nothing right now. So the main difference between options and shares is that in an option, you're leveraged. So if I were to buy this contract right here for tomorrow, 600, let's make it an even number. If I were to buy this $605 contract on SPY, a SPY call that expires tomorrow, I'd have to pay this number right here, 279 times 100, because I'm buying 100 contracts that says I can own SPY, or that I own SPY at $605. So I'm paying $279 for 100 contracts saying that I can sell SPY at $605. That's why I'm paying the premium of $279, because I'm saying that I have the SPY shares at this price, basically. So you can see right here that there's also these numbers down here, delta, gamma, and theta. So, and vega. The most important one is delta when you're buying an option. Delta is kind of the percentage that it will, end up profiting or end up being in the money. And Robin actually has a pretty cool feature here. It's the break-even price. So you can see that even though your option's in the money, if you buy it for this much at expiration, it needs to be this price for it to break even. That's a pretty helpful feature to kind of put it into perspective how much your auction actually has to be, how much the stock price has to be when your option expires. But yeah, I mean, options are pretty complex. It can go into a lot of detail, that's for sure. And I just want to kind of give the basics of what they're about. So that's basically the main difference, is that you have a lot of leverage and they expire. So the stock price has to move. Theta will eat up your option. Theta, you can see right here. That's theta. It's one of the Greeks in the option, game, and that'll eat up your option. That'll take away all of its value. If you get too close to the expiration, and if the option does expire, the theta eats away at the option's value. So let's actually look at a chart. So I wanted to look at this. This is kind of just, a little overview of what options actually are, kind of just some visuals to put with my words. And you can see you could buy call options. Call options are saying the stock price is going to go up. And selling options is to get into the stock. So if I sold a SPY $605 option, if SPY was at $605 or below, I'd have to buy. Or no, if it was at $605 or above, my apologies, I'd have to buy 100 shares of SPY at $605, no matter where it was. So this is a pretty good, this is a good strategy if it's at $605 or below. It is below. My apologies on that. But if it is at $605, if the share price falls from $606 and at expiration it's at $604, I now have 100 shares of SPY at $605, and I got paid $270 or $274 to open this contract. So if I were to open this contract, I'd get paid $274 just to open it. And if it expires and SPY is at $605 or below, then I'd be, I'd have that many shares of SPY. And in order to open this, I need to have enough collateral. So I need to have this 605 times 100 minus the premium that I'm getting, so that I have enough collateral to open this. So you need to have a lot of money to open this option. That's for sure. You need to have $60,226 to open this. So that's a lot of money. That's a lot to put up. But I mean, SPY is a pretty safe, stock to buy, and that's some fast money. But that is a lot of money, $60,000 for that. But if I own 100 shares of SPY and then I sell a call at 609, then I already own the share. This is called the wheel strategy. You can sell options that are below the current price, and then if it does drop to that and you get the 100 shares, you can sell options above the current price. And if it, and another scenario is that if SPY doesn't drop to 605, and let's say SPY goes up to $610, you don't get assigned any shares, and you just collect this premium of $274 worry free. So that's best case scenario most of the time. But if you want to actually own the stock, then it's even better to just be able to, get it for a cheaper price and get the premium in addition to owning the stock. So that's some scenarios for options right there on SPY. And then if we take I wanted to take a look at Option Strat. This is a good website when it comes to making option plays and seeing how much they're worth. So if you look at this site right here, you can see the SPY. I just want to show you guys the leverage that you could possibly have on SPY. So the leverage you can have on SPY is very high. You can see that, or what's the date today? Or it is the 25th. If you bought a 25th call, you can make this, very fast as time changes very slow, or in the option. You can see how fast it decays. So this is what I wanted to show for Theta, is that if you were to open the option and the stock price instantly rose 5%, then you'd make $3,000. And that's, if the stock price rises a lot. But let's say, look at this. I mean, this is only, a day, so you're not really going to get that much Theta. But if you look at July 1st, if the stock price rises the first day you open the option, let's say it rises 2%, it rises right when you open the option, right in the morning, you make $930. But if it takes all the way till expiration, then you'd only make $845. And this, as the percentages go down, you can see that this is where Theta really eats away. So the main way you can lose in options is if the stock price goes the opposite direction that you're betting on, or if it stays flat. You can see right here that if the stock price goes up 0.5%, right when you open the option, you make $186. But if it goes up 0.5% at expiration, you'd lose $55. So that's definitely the risks of options. You don't have unlimited time when it comes to options. That is the scary part. But options can also be a very good, they have very high percentage gains because of the leverage you have. Theoretically, you have 100 shares of this company, and the leverage is insane. I wanted to show you guys. This is not to get you into options. Don't think that. But this is a crazy percentage gain. This guy put $412 into Monster puts. So let's look at Monster stock. It's an energy drink company. So Monster stock is now worth $63, and at its peak, this must be an old post. Oh, maybe they split, actually. I'm not sure. But he bought this isn't even the same company. My fault. What is this? This is MSTR. This is MicroStrategy. Oh my gosh. My apologies for that. But we can see, I guess he bought puts right here, and he bought $310 put, and then they dropped this much, I'd guess. We can see 4 months ago. That sounds about right. So we can see that the MicroStrategy stock actually dropped a very sizable amount, and he made a percentage gain of 3,162%. And this was, shown in $13,000. That's a lot of money. And yeah, I mean, this is the power of options. You can get crazy returns like this, but I mean, if you look on Wall Street Bets, there's a lot of gains, and there's also a lot of losses. There's more losses than gains, and people usually don't even post their losses. So that goes to show how risky trading options is. And there's been a few strategies that people use that are a little more complex. I won't go into detail on them. There's like the Iron Condor. There's a poor man's covered call, which is a pretty good strategy to look into, I think. I'm not approved for that kind of options trading. I should be. I don't know why I'm not. But that is a good strategy to look into if you want to, check out some option strategies. I think that's one of the most profitable ones, is having a poor man's covered call. That's a decent one to get into. But yeah, there's a lot of different ones you can do. There's strangles, straddles. There's a lot. It's a deep rabbit hole to get into. And this isn't to promote options trading. I don't usually do it. I've done it a few times, but it is definitely fun. If you have a little bit of money that you don't care about losing and you want to throw it into an option, I think it is basically gambling. You can't predict the price of a stock in that short of a period of time. It's just a voting game short term. That's what stocks are. I mean, if you look at AMD right now, you can see the swings that it's had. No one predicted that AMD was going to go up 6.88% today, and now it's up 7% on the day. No one predicted that. And if you did, you should have bought options, because let's look at how much you would have made if you bought an option for AMD. So you can see, like, you'd be up 1,000% if you bought this option. Like, let's say you bought this option and made 1,000%. And it's a good amount of money. Let's do 100 times 1,000%. You would have turned, you would have 10x your money, essentially. And you could have done that in one day. If you could 10x your money right now, I'd do that. I'd turn, what would I do? If I knew that was going to happen, I would have turned $22,000 into $220,000, which I wouldn't be too upset about. But yeah, I mean, options are very risky, and people blow up their accounts all the time using them. So definitely use them with caution. But I do think that they're a tool that, if used correctly, can definitely be very useful. And you can buy leaps, which I think are a safer version of an option too. Like if you think SoFi, which I think is going to go up in the long term, you could check right here. Let's say you think SoFi is going to be worth, I don't know, you think SoFi is going to be over $20, by 2027, which I believe. Then I'll buy a $12 call right now for $675, and you can see my break even's 1870. I'm gonna make some money. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things you can do with options. I checked the delta; it's 79. That's pretty good. That's pretty good for me. I think that's good enough. The theta is really low. I'm only losing about 3 cents a day. That's a pretty good option for me. And what I wanted to show you guys is the theta graph as the option decays because of theta. You can see theta graph options. So you can see that theta speeds up actually towards the end of the options lifespan. Theta decay, it's not linear. So you can see that 9 months, the more time you have, the slower it decays, and then right at expiration, it drops very fast. That's a good thing to know if you're investing in options. But yeah, I mean, this is kind of just a video explaining the basics of options. There's definitely a lot more detail I could go into when it comes to options trading. If you guys would like to, hear more about that and maybe some strategies, I can give some examples of strategies. I'm probably going to open up some options pretty soon here once I deposit some more money. And yeah, great day in the market. Thank you guys for watching the video. I hope you gained a little bit of knowledge. I'll catch you in the next one. If you do enjoy it, be sure to like and also subscribe. I'd appreciate it a lot. And yeah, see you guys. Thank you for watching. Peace.